Metahuman, Unleashing Your Infinite Potential by Deepak Chopra is an exploration of how individuals can transcend the limitations of their conventional understanding of self and reality. The book combines spirituality, neuroscience, quantum physics, and philosophy to propose that humans can access a higher state of consciousness, one that transcends the physical and mental boundaries we often impose on ourselves. The core concept of Metahuman revolves around breaking free from what Chopra calls the programmed mind, which refers to the ways in which society, culture, and personal experience shape and limit our perception of reality. Chopra's goal is to guide readers to shift from this conditioned state to a state of metahuman consciousness, which he defines as a more expansive and enlightened way of experiencing the world. The illusion of the self. In the early chapters, Chopra addresses the nature of the self. He explains that the self, as we perceive it in daily life, is a constructed identity shaped by experiences, beliefs, and societal influences. This version of self is what Chopra calls the ego, which operates from a place of limitation and survival. The ego creates a narrative about who we are, what we can do, and how we relate to the world around us. Chopra argues that this ego-based sense of self is an illusion, a limited and narrow view of our true nature. According to him, the true self is vast, boundless, and infinite, and this larger self is not confined to the material world or the limits of the body and mind. He draws upon both ancient spiritual traditions and modern science to argue that our perception of reality is shaped by the mind, and that this mind can be trained to access a higher state of awareness. Breaking free from the programmed mind. A central theme of Metahuman is the concept of the programmed mind. Chopra explores how much of our thinking is habitual, influenced by past experiences, societal norms, and genetic predispositions. These deeply ingrained patterns, he argues, limit our potential by keeping us in a state of autopilot, where we react to life rather than actively creating it. To move beyond the programmed mind, Chopra suggests a process of self-awareness and mindfulness. He encourages readers to engage in practices that help quiet the mind and break the cycle of automatic thinking. Meditation, breathwork, and conscious awareness are key techniques he recommends for achieving this shift. The goal is to reach a state where individuals can access a deeper level of consciousness, one that is free from the constraints of past conditioning. Chopra introduces the idea of meta-awareness, which refers to a state of heightened awareness that allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. By cultivating meta-awareness, we can begin to separate our true selves from the limited perceptions of the ego and move toward a more authentic and expansive way of being. The role of consciousness in shaping reality. Chopra emphasizes a role of consciousness in shaping our experience of reality. He argues that reality is not something external to us, but something that is co-created by our consciousness. This idea is deeply rooted in quantum physics, which Chopra uses to support his claims. He refers to the concept of the observer effect, where the act of observation influences the state of the observed. Just as quantum particles behave differently when they are observed, Chopra suggests that our consciousness shapes the world we experience. This idea challenges the conventional notion of reality as an objective, external world that exists independently of us. Instead, Chopra proposes that reality is a fluid, dynamic process that is shaped by our consciousness and the beliefs we hold. By changing our consciousness, we can change our experience of the world. This is the essence of what Chopra calls becoming a metahuman, transcending the limitations of the material world and accessing a higher level of awareness that can shape reality in more positive and expansive ways. The power of belief and perception. Beliefs play a central role in Metahuman because they shape how we perceive the world and ourselves. Chopra explains that beliefs are not merely thoughts, but deeply ingrained patterns that influence our behavior, emotions, and reactions. These beliefs, often formed early in life, can limit our potential by creating a fixed mindset that restricts our view of what is possible. Chopra proposes that by shifting our beliefs and perceptions, we can unlock new levels of potential. He points out that many of the beliefs we hold are not grounded in truth, but are simply habitual patterns that we have internalized over time. By becoming aware of these limiting beliefs and consciously choosing to adopt new, empowering ones, we can begin to create a new reality for ourselves. The process of changing beliefs involves questioning the assumptions we hold about ourselves and the world. Chopra encourages readers to ask themselves, what if the world is not as I perceive it? What if I have the power to change my experience of reality? He believes that once we shift our beliefs, we can begin to access the infinite potential that resides within us. Quantum physics and the metahuman. A significant portion of Metahuman is devoted to the intersection of quantum physics and consciousness. Chopra draws on the findings of modern science, particularly quantum mechanics, to argue that the world we experience is not as solid and objective as it seems. Quantum physics has demonstrated that at the subatomic level, particles do not exist in a fixed state until they are observed. This suggests that reality is not predetermined, but rather, it is fluid and co-created by consciousness. Chopra uses this scientific framework to support his argument that our consciousness plays a direct role in shaping the world we experience. Just as quantum particles can exist in multiple states until they are observed, Chopra suggests that our consciousness is capable of influencing the potential outcomes of our lives. This idea is empowering because it suggests that by expanding our awareness and consciousness, we can shape our reality in more expansive ways. Chopra also introduces the concept of non-local consciousness, which refers to the idea that consciousness is not confined to the brain or the body, but is a universal field that connects all things. This concept is consistent with certain interpretations of quantum physics, which suggest that the universe is interconnected in ways that transcend space and time. By tapping into this non-local consciousness, Chopra believes that we can access higher states of awareness and unlock the full potential of our minds. The metahuman's relationship with the universe. A metahuman, according to Chopra, is not just someone who has transcended the limitations of the ego and the programmed mind, but someone who has also developed a deeper connection with the universe. Chopra suggests that we are not isolated individuals, but integral parts of a vast, interconnected universe. The metahuman recognizes this interconnectedness and understands that their actions, thoughts, and intentions have a ripple effect on the world around them. The metahuman is able to act from a place of unity, where the separation between self and other dissolves. In this state, the individual is not driven by the ego's need for control or validation, but is aligned with the flow of the universe. This alignment allows the metahuman to experience life more fully, with greater joy, creativity, and compassion. Chopra calls this state of being living from the field, where one's actions are guided by a deeper sense of purpose and connection to the world. Practical applications for becoming a metahuman. While metahuman is deeply philosophical, Chopra also offers practical guidance for readers who want to implement these ideas in their own lives. He provides exercises and meditation techniques designed to help individuals quiet the mind, expand their awareness, and access higher states of consciousness. These practices include mindfulness meditation, focus intention, and visualization techniques that can help shift one's perspective and beliefs. Chopra also encourages readers to embrace creativity, spontaneity, and curiosity. He suggests that by exploring new ideas, stepping outside of our comfort zones, and challenging our existing beliefs, we can expand our consciousness and unlock new possibilities. Conclusion: Metahuman is a profound exploration of the potential that exists within every individual. By transcending the limits of the ego, breaking free from the programmed mind, and aligning with the deeper consciousness of the universe, Chopra argues that we can unlock infinite possibilities and live more fulfilling, creative, and meaningful lives. Through a combination of spirituality, science, and practical guidance, Chopra provides readers with a roadmap for becoming metahumans, individuals who are no longer constrained by their limited perceptions of self and reality. Instead, they are free to tap into the vast potential of their minds, create new beliefs, and experience life in a way that is expansive, connected, and deeply meaningful. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybooksummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends. And let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.